It is 3 o'clock in the morning. I guess Erin decided to start her day early today.
Well, at least she's happy. But man, it's going to be a rough day with such little sleep. You'd think we'd be heading to a theme park with that level of excitement.
In my personal opinion, the only reason to be up this early is if we are actually headed to a theme park.
Well, we may not be headed to a theme park, but I do know a way that we could wake up and get a little piece of that theme park magic here in our living room.
Dress Erin up as a wizard and pretend like we're riding on Forbidden Journey?
No.
Sing It's a Pirate's Life for me and splash water on our faces?
What? Never mind. We should brew a pot of Expedition Roasters coffee.
Oh, that's a much more sensible idea. I guess I'm too tired to think straight. What flavor should we make?
I'm thinking that maybe we could try their newest flavor, Wonderland Coffee Crumb Cake.
Oh, that flavor sounds really good. Or we could brew Fortune and Glory Bourbon Streusel. Or Enchanted Tiki Coconut.
Honestly, I'm so tired. I have a feeling that we're going to have multiple cups, so let's brew them all.
Uh-oh. Sounds like Erin requires our immediate attention, if you know what I mean. Want to take this one, Daddy?
What was that? I think I hear the kettle boiling already. I'm going to go grab that and make the coffee, okay?
But the kettle wasn't even on. Oh, well. As long as he comes back with a cup of Expedition Roasters, I really don't care. Come on, Erin. Let's go take care of business. Start your expedition today at expeditionroasters.com and use coupon code DUO15 to save 15% off your first purchase of Expedition Roasters themed coffees, shirts, and mugs. You can even get an art print of your favorite bag design. Brew your happy place. Expedition Roasters, an adventure in every bag.
Hi, and welcome to the Theme Park Duo Podcast. Grab your park map, churro, and hop in line with us as we take you on a coast-to-coast adventure through the world of theme parks, haunts, conventions, and more. Now, here's your hosts, Nikki and Gabriel.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Theme Park Duo Podcast. I'm Gabe.
And I'm Nikki.
And we are the Theme Park Duo. So, this weekend, there was just this itty-bitty event that kind of happened,
Really?
like super under the radar, like super like indie, lo-fi, just not big at all in Anaheim, California. It's something called like B23 or something like that.
Is that a droid number?
Yeah, I think so, actually. It might be. No. In all jokes aside, D23 happened this weekend. And we stayed as far away from it as humanly possible.
We've gone twice.
The first time was phenomenal.
The first time was great. The second time, people are like, hey, there's this thing, and it's really cool. We should go. And then it got really crowded.
It was pretty intense.
And then we decided, we're just going to wait for the news to come out, because it's stressful.
We had fun.
Yeah.
But the amount of stress and the amount of irritating things that happened over the weekend were almost equal to the cool things that we experienced.
Yeah.
And I still have bruises from jumping into that plastic pit of coins from the DuckTales booth.
That was fun, though.
No, that was cool.
That was worth it.
That was a fun experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, D23 has become a little bit insane.
Yeah.
But and I have noticed that it almost seems as though they haven't learned from their mistakes when it comes to operations of the actual convention itself.
Yeah, I think they're trying to figure out how to maneuver something as popular as it is.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult. Mm-hmm. But in this episode today, we're going to be talking some theme park news that came out at D23, and we're also going to be talking some haunt news. News. It's a news episode.
Yeah.
Just make sure you don't snooze during the news.
And it's like our news and our take on it, because I'm sure you've heard all this news before, or some of it. I mean, maybe some you haven't, and we're like, breaking news, here first. But, don't get like halfway into the episode and be like, when's the topic coming up? The topic is the news.
The topic is the news. There's a lot to talk about. In the last few episodes, we haven't had time to talk news like at all. Like each episode was over an hour, so I didn't want to soak up the first 45 minutes worth of haunt news and then actually get into the main topic.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking, speed talking through a lot of the announcements that have been happening for the different haunts as well. So we're going to talk D23 first, then we're actually going to talk haunt news. We'll jump through Queen Mary's Dark Harbor. We're going to talk Dark Horizons, Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood and Orlando, and Knott's Scary Farm. So we're going to jump through all those.
Yes.
Let's waste no more time and jump directly into the news, Nikki.
Okay.
So, the first set of news, or pieces of news, or tidbits, morsels of information that we've gotten regarding Epcot. This is actually something that I found very interesting, is that Disney formally announced that Epcot will be anchored by 4 neighborhoods. This will be World Showcase, as before, that can't change that.
Yeah.
World Celebration, World Nature, and World Discovery.
Okay.
So they're changing it up. World Showcase is still the same, but now it's changing instead of, Future World East and West, and all this kind of stuff. So
yeah, I mean, they're really just
different.
changing the names because
yeah.
World Discovery, I mean, we all know that that's where Spaceship Earth and, all those other rides are over there. And then, what was the middle one you said?
Huh? Oh, World Celebration?
No, not World Celebration.
World Nature?
World Nature. That's going to be
the land and the seas.
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff.
where Soarin' is, so.
I think they're kind of changing the names so that they're a little bit broader and easier
so they
to kind of fit
add
other stuff into.
They can add more stuff in there.
Yeah, and that doesn't bother me.
Yeah, and you'll probably get to that, but the Moana water thing.
Spoilers, jeez.
No, you're getting to it. We're talking.
No, it's like 5th on my list.
Okay.
If it was 4th, I wouldn't care. Okay, I don't care.
Cricket.
Leave me alone. No, I'm going to preface this with, we obviously are not people who grew up with Epcot, so we don't have this crazy sentimental attachment to the idea of what Epcot was supposed to be or what it was in the 80s, all this kind of stuff. So for me, this kind of a change, I think, is going to be kind of cool because it's going to allow for a little bit more cohesion with regards to themes.
Yeah, it felt kind of choppy before.
A little bit. Yeah. I mean, it was definitely in flux. You could tell it was in flux, and nothing really kind of meshed or melded very well together. Mm-hmm. The next little bit is that Disney announced that Spaceship Earth would eventually get a refurbishment with new narration, new storyline, and new scenes. Spaceship Earth will remain a voyage through time as the journey transforms, with new scenes reflecting the universal nature of the human experience. A new guide and all new narration will focus on the storytelling that brings people together. Disney did not give a timeline for this refurbishment. Mm-hmm. This was something that a lot of people have been speculating for a long time as well. Many different shows that I've listened to have talked about how it needs it.
Yeah. I mean, we wrote it once, and we liked it, but, we're not the frequent park goers that see it all the time and see what's down and, and all that stuff. So, yeah, I'm sure it could use a facelift.
I mean, this is definitely one of those rides I fell in love with immediately when I went to Epcot. So, I'm excited to see it get a little bit of a facelift.
Yeah.
Now, if you had a choice for a voice to kind of take over as narration, who would you choose?
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. Well, this is Spaceship Earth. No, that's actually a funny one. I like that one. Sam Elliott would be my choice. Just a deep voice.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Very fatherly almost in a way. I feel like that would be a very good fit for something like this.
Uh-huh.
I joked on Twitter and said Gilbert Godfrey. or maybe Bobcat Goldthwait. Maybe that too. Yeah, welcome Spaceship Earth.
Oh my god,
that was a terrible Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yeah, it was.
Let's leave that where it was and just continue to move forward in this progression of news. Mm-hmm. The next thing is that Disney announced a new pavilion that will become the new home base for Epcot's signature festivals. It will provide a new stunning view of World Showcase and an ideal spot to witness the park's nighttime spectacular. This beautiful 3-level structure will have one of the most remarkable designs at Disney Park and will fast become a new icon for Epcot. So are they trying to overshadow Spaceship Earth?
Maybe just have another thing, how Disneyland has the castle and the Matterhorn. Maybe just and it's in different part. It's in a different part. of the park. So it's not like the icon, like the spaceship Earth that you see from the entrance. It's off to the side. But I think it looks really cool.
Yeah, the design and the artwork that we've seen of this looks pretty cool.
I foresee dining packages for all the primo spots.
Oh, of course. Like dessert parties and stuff, you know what I mean? Like that's a given. If there's a view of a nighttime spectacular, there will be a dessert party. And I will shove my face full of desserts. Next thing on the list, World Celebration, which is one of the new neighborhoods of Epcot, will also feature breathtaking views of Dreamers Pointe, lush gardens, a wishing tree, a wishing tree, I read that right, an interactive new fountain, and a statue celebrating the legacy of the original dreamer, Walt Disney.
That's cool.
So I saw the statue in the artwork. Did you get to see that?
Yeah, briefly.
He's just kind of like sitting down with his arms on his knees. It was a nice statue.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't mind if there was a statue of Walt Disney in every park.
It feels like there should be.
I feel like there should be, even if the parks had started with him. Even if the parks never started with him, I feel like there should be, just because these are parks that are celebrating the idea of Walt Disney has started.
Yeah, and like California Adventure has like the young Walt, coming to California, like, ready, literal suitcase and a dream, and that's super cool, and it would be a nice theme. I know that Walt Disney World, the Magic Kingdom, has Roy.
Yeah, Roy and Minnie.
Yeah, Roy and Minnie on the bench, and that's really cute, but maybe somewhere else in the park you could have Walt.
So at Animal Kingdom, can we get Joe Rohde with his earring?
Yeah.
I would love that as a statue.
That'd be really cool.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Then we should get a Tony Baxter one over at Disney Paris.
Sure.
Oh, goodness. This is going to go way off the rails.
Yeah.
Moving on. The news that Nikki spoiled at the beginning of the episode.
Moana.
Journey of Water, inspired by Moana, will be a lush exploration trail where guests can meet and play with magical living water.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna pause the show.
Yeah.
No, it sounds cool. It's definitely gonna be in that already existing ride, right?
No, it's not a ride. It's a walkthrough.
Oh, it's a walkthrough.
It literally says lush exploration trail.
That doesn't mean anything.
That doesn't mean ride.
Doesn't mean walkthrough.
I guess that's a good point.
We'll have to wait and see.
That's a good point.
Okay.
The Land Pavilion's new film, Awesome Planet, which showcases the spectacular beauty, diverse, and dynamic story of the planet, will begin welcoming guests in January 2020.
Cool.
So that's something that was announced a little bit ago, but I guess they went into a little bit more detail. World Discovery replaces what is currently known as Future World East. So that was something that we had discussed a little bit about before and kind of making it a little bit more cohesive there.
Yeah.
Guests will ride on a daring adventure. So this is a Guardians of the Galaxy ride that they're building right now. Guests will ride on a daring adventure featuring the first reverse launch.
What? So backwards?
Yes.
Okay.
Into space. I wonder if it's the first launch because it's first reverse launch into space. There has to be another ride that reverses, like, launches.
I don't know.
There's got to be somewhere in the world.
Someone email us and tell us.
I don't know. I think that's fishy. It's a little fishy. Anyway, the name of the ride is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. This thrilling, family-friendly attraction will feature a never-before-seen storytelling coaster that rotates to focus on the attraction wherever it may be. And the first thing I thought about when I read that was the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, but that's not a coaster.
I know it's not a coaster, but they're basically taking that element of that ride.
Yeah.
That was designed specifically for that to tilt and point people in specific directions.
Yeah.
To, get their attention in a certain area so you kind of block off everything else.
Yeah.
They're taking that idea and putting it on a coaster.
It's like, what's the one at Knott's Berry Farm that spins you that they always have the video cameras?
Sierra Sidewinder?
Sierra Sidewinder.
They don't have video cameras anymore.
It's like Sierra Sidewinder if the cars were controlled.
You mean it's kind of like Escape from Gringotts?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that one.
Oh, a coaster that points you in the direction of the things it wants you to see. Oh, my God. Oh, sorry, Disney.
Mind melting. I'm sure it's going to be different.
It'll be different. It's in space.
And also, Gringotts is less of a coaster. It really is.
It's only part coaster.
It's the very minimal coaster aspect to that. Nikki, do you want to take over? You want to read some more?
Are you tired of reading? Are you?
No.
Okay. An expansion of the Mission Space Pavilion. The new restaurant Space 220 will be a culinary experience featuring the celestial panorama of a space station. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Including daytime and nighttime views of Earth from 220 miles up.
Oh, that's where it got its name. What?
220 miles isn't that much. Shouldn't it be like 220,000?
Well, think about it. 220 miles straight up. That's a long ways.
I guess so.
Oh my God.
Wait, how many miles away is the moon?
Think about this. From here, from where we live to Disneyland is like 60 miles.
Yeah, so 220 is not that far.
Take that and put it vertically instead.
I don't think you would see the whole Earth.
Oh my gosh. Let's contact the scientists at NASA.
I will research this. We will be talking about this because that doesn't seem right.
Okay.
It doesn't.
Okay.
Okay. You'll board a special elevator for a journey to a space station that is home to an incredible dining experience. Along the way, viewports will give you a real-time perspective as you travel high above the planet. Once you arrive, you'll enjoy fantastic meals and drinks while taking in views that are truly out of this world. Opening this winter, Space 2020 will be operated by the Patina Group. So will there be no actual windows? It's all inside.
No, it's all screens.
Yeah.
It's all screens to make you feel like you're in space.
Okay, well that's cool.
So one thing that I've heard and read multiple times is that the distance between where the restaurant is and Test Track, when Test Track goes around that corner, it creates this giant vibration into the building. I don't know if they'll
play into it.
Be able to fix that, or like every time Test Track goes around, you'll see like a rocket fly by.
You might.
I don't know. Who knows?
They might play into it, or the chefs will, or the waiters will just have to be like, oh, they're testing that contraption downstairs again.
I would love it way better if just everybody just starts talking way louder, acting like nothing's
like
wrong.
Like it's normal.
So what would you like for dinner? Oh, yes, the sides for that are definitely mashed potatoes and gravy. It just gets really ridiculous.
They'll probably say they're going to like hyperdrive or something. Who knows?
Oh, who knows?
Well, anyway.
They're working on those engines again.
Well, anyway. That sounds interesting. I will research the miles up.
I like how that's the one thing you're concerned about.
I am very concerned. Okay, next up. Play Pavilion.
Oh my God.
That's how it's written.
Well, it's all caps and exclamation marks, so Nikki literally yelled it. Well, if anything, Pavilion is in all lowercase, so it should be Play Pavilion.
Play Pavilion. Will open in time for the 50th.
I'm sorry for people who are listening to this.
I am reading here.
And?
Let me read in peace.
And?
Okay, fine, you take over.
No, you go for it. Okay. I'm sorry.
No, you're going to interrupt me again, I know.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
I know you.
No, I'm not.
Play Pavilion will open in time for the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. In this interactive metropolis, guests will discover a city bursting with games, activities, and I'm just full of fear now that you're going to interrupt me.
I love it.
Okay. Games, activities, and experiences that connect them with friends, family, and beloved Disney characters like never before. So it's like a carnival area?
It's not really a carnival area. Yeah? It's more of... It's hard to explain. Have you seen the concept art?
Not for this.
It almost looks like the cityscape backdrop with like very open areas and very specific areas. Like imagine... It's hard to explain, and there's not really anything that I could think of that's very similar to it. Uh-huh. But imagine the Animation Academy. You know how like there's specific places you go where imagine that, but massive, like much bigger, much more stylized. There's a lot more stuff going on.
Okay, fun. Oh, the next one I'm really excited.
This is one you're excited about.
Yes, I am. The first ever Mary Poppins attraction was announced as part of Cherry Tree Lane, which will join the United Kingdom Pavilion as an entirely new neighborhood. I'm so excited.
So they're going to completely recreate Cherry Tree Lane, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I don't think there was many facts or pieces of information regarding what kind of a ride this is going to be or anything. I'm very interested to see what it is.
They strap your wrist to an umbrellas and
just blow into you.
and it's like Peter Pan where you're up in the air, but you're like literally tethered to an umbrella.
Or they just shove you in a tub full of foam. Just hope for the best.
No, it has nothing to do with the new movie, Gabe. Nothing.
Actually, it has everything to do with the new movie because in the concept art,
I know,
it's the new Mary Poppins, not the old Mary Poppins.
I know.
Which, in theory, they would be able to switch it in and out because it's the same street.
Yeah.
There's no particular... I didn't say a particular time period.
No, and it looks pretty much the same.
Yeah, nothing's changed. So, who knows? Maybe you'll get old and new.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll be able to even get Bert up in there.
That'd be fun.
What if they have, random shows by, the Lamplighters?
Lamplighters and chimney sweeps.
Yeah.
Oh,
They should have a battle.
No.
Where they start snapping and singing.
Wrong movie, Gabe.
Oh, whoops, my bad.
No, during the morning it can be the Lamplighters, and then at night it can be the chimney sweeps.
That'd be fun.
Or vice versa.
Triple Little Light Fantastic in the mornings.
No, at night it's the Lamplighters, and during the day it's the chimney sweeps.
Well, it's a little bit of both, really.
They're both sing at night.
Choose one or the other.
Chimney sweeps sweep during the day.
Telling you, snapping, singing, and fighting.
And shivving. High turnover rate for dancers in that show.
There was another fatality at Epcot today on Cherry Tree Lane, where another lamplighter got shivved in the gut.
Too far.
And
Too
shivving.
Far. We went too far. Okay.
Moving on.
Okay. You have to take the next one. I can't do it.
Okay.
Okay.
In the China Pavilion, Wondrous China will take guests on a spectacular journey across China, filmed and presented in a completely seamless 360-degree digital format. Also, at World Showcase, the film Canada Far and Wide and Circle Vision 360 will debut in January 2020 in the Canada Pavilion with new scenes and new story.
That's cool. I like those shows.
Yeah, they were fun.
Yeah. It's the air conditioning room. Watch a movie. I like them.
It's all good.
And they're pretty scenery.
The France Pavilion will offer even more for guests to discover, including a new Beauty and the Beast sing-along in January 2020. And in summer 2020, the most anticipated attraction, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, will open, as well as a delicious new restaurant called La Crêperie de Paris, offering both table and quick service options.
Cool.
So it's crepes.
Yeah. No, that's super exciting.
Hopefully not crappy crepes.
I like crepes. I like dessert crepes. I like entree crepes. I like breakfast crepes.
Do they put grapes in crepes?
They might. I don't know.
Would you put grapes in
Would
crepes
jelly
and
count?
tapes?
Would jelly count?
No.
Oh, then no, probably not.
Jelly isn't grapes.
It's made
But grapes
from
is
grapes.
jelly. Moving on. In 2020, following the limited run of Epcot Forever, the new Harmonious, that's harmonious, but with us at the end
Harmonio
of it.
us.
Harmonious.
No, it's literally Harmonio us.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, it's a whole bunch of doppelgangers singing with their hands across America. No, that's later. Will debut as the largest nighttime spectacular ever created at Disney Park. It will celebrate how the music of Disney inspires people the world over, carrying you away harmoniously on a stream of familiar Disney tunes and reinterpreted by a diverse group of artists from around the globe.
That sounds cool.
Harmonious will feature massive floating set pieces, custom-built LED panels, choreographed moving fountains, lights, pyrotechnics, lasers, and more.
That sounds really cool. I actually like that concept.
So this literally sounds like if they were to take Rivers of Light, World of Color, and the Epcot, the former Epcot Nighttime Spectacular.
Yeah.
And just shoved it all together.
Yeah.
And that's what you're getting.
And put it to the soundtrack, We Are the World.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That works for me.
Yeah.
Next, Nikki.
Disney Genie. You ain't never had a friend like this. Moments ago at the D23 Expo 2019, details were unveiled by Disney Parks, Experiences and Products Chairman Bob Chapek for Disney Genie, a revolutionary new
new digital
offering set to debut in late 2020 that will enhance the way you plan for and experience a trip to Walt Disney World Resort. Joining other innovations like the Magic Band, Disney Genie is being designed to help you make the most out of your visit, whether you're a first-time guest or a seasoned pro.
Disney Genie will make planning easier and more fun by perverting Disney.
Oh,
no.
Stop.
More fun by providing customized itineraries geared to your interests right at your fingertips, from a royal princess-themed day at Magic Kingdom Park to a trip around the world at Epcot for foodies and even a perfect day for thrill seekers. Certain features of Disney Genie will also be available through your preferred travel professional.
Cool.
Sometimes you may know exactly what you want to do, but may not know the best time or order in which to do it. You'll be able to tell Disney Genie what you'd like to experience, and it will quickly evaluate millions of options to present you with an optimal day. And best of all, it's flexible. If you change your mind for any reason, Disney Genie will re-optimize your day.
Disney Genie can also send you real-time tips and updates, including recommendations for experiences it thinks you'll love, helping you navigate the theme parks with added convenience and comfort. If you don't want to worry about making reservations in multiple steps, Disney Genie will even take care of that for you.
So this is for the people who don't plan. Like, it's just, do it for me.
Is this day of, or is this...
I don't know.
Like, well, they said with your travel provider, so
I'm assuming, yeah, you do it early.
Because you would have to do it early. Like, if they just offered Disney Genie to someone the day they showed up, they'd be out of luck with reservations and things like that.
That's a very good point.
So it has to be
in conjunction with the 60-day things and all that kind of stuff.
Maybe every Disney Genie is just a little mouseketeer back there on a computer. Like, find the best plan for them.
The first thing that I thought about when I read this was that, say that there's, a 2-hour wait for Space Mountain, but you really want to go on Space Mountain. They're not going to tell you to go on Space Mountain.
Yeah.
They're going to route you in a different way so that you are completely away from crowds in that manner. I guess it's not a horrible thing, but I feel like this is a way for Disney to completely control where people end up going.
I think they're just trying to control people by giving them suggestions.
It's crowd control by power of suggestion.
I'm fine, because if everyone else gets herded around like sheep and I can do whatever I want,
Hey guys, I heard Pinocchio's great this time of day. You should go on that instead of waiting in line for Indy. Just saying.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm probably never going to use this, but some people might need it, or if they it's probably a thing where if they say, like, if they tell Disney Genie, okay, tomorrow I want to make sure to do this, this, and this, it could set up an itinerary with the best chances of them accomplishing those things. So for someone who doesn't know the park, doesn't know the layout, doesn't know the logistics, it could help them.
Yeah, it definitely could.
Yeah, so I don't think it's a bad thing. I just don't think it's something that I would ever use.
No, I don't think I would ever use it because I want to be in control of where I'm going, what I'm doing, how I do it, and when I do it. I definitely think that we're not the target audience.
No, we're not.
At all. I think the people who, repeat visitors might be slightly interested in it.
Yeah.
Because for them, at a time, like, also they know when and where to go.
They do, but if it would help them with, like, they could look at Magic Genie and be like, oh, there's no wait time for this, but they could just look at the app themselves. I don't know. I don't know. I think it helps the people that show up and is like, what's a Magic Band? That's who it helps.
If you're asking what a Magic Band when you show up, just don't show up. Just don't show up.
I bet it happens every
I guarantee you people show up and they show up to Magic Kingdom and they're like, oh, this is Universal. Or they're walking through Adventureland and they're like, where's Harry Potter?
Yeah, no, they say they get that question a lot. Where's the castle?
Where's the Hogwarts castle?
Yeah, where's the Hogwarts castle?
Oh, God, jeez.
Okay, moving on. Let's not bash Disney guests.
I'm not bashing Disney guests. I'm just bashing stupid people.
Okay. Yeah, they're everywhere.
Sorry, stupid people. I apologize. Moving on from Epcot, we're going to be talking about the new Star Wars hotel, which is called Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser.
Is this the one that's like all in character all the time?
Yeah, all the time, constantly.
Yeah, no thank you.
Constant LARPing.
Not
Lightning bolt.
Not my favorite.
Lightning bolt. I'm going to butcher the name of the ship that you're supposed to be on, so just bear with me.
Where's the...
Halcyon?
Halcyon. The
Halcyon? Or Halcyon?
Halcyon.
Halcyon?
Yeah.
Okay. Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser will be a glamorous ship, the Halcyon, where every window features stellar views into space. Guests will embark together on a 2-night adventure that includes special activities, incredible dining, and a spaceport day on Batuu at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, inviting guests even deeper into their own Star Wars stories. You will cruise the galaxy in style aboard the Halcyon, known for its impeccable service and exotic destinations. On board, you will stay in a well-appointed cabins, experiencing onboard dining, make a planet-side excursion to Black Spire Outpost on Batuu, and much more. Throughout the journey, you will be invited to delve deeper into your personal adventure by participating in onboard activities, interacting with characters, crew, other passengers you meet, and becoming part of the action and the broader Star Wars saga. And some of the fun little facts about this whole experience, some of these are: the adventure begins when you arrive at the Galactic Star Cruiser terminal at Walt Disney World and check in for your 2-night experience. You will be invited to enter a launch pod for transport into space. Through windows above, you'll see yourself leave the real world behind as you jump to hyperspace and draw closer and closer to Halcyon. When the launch pod docks with the Halcyon and the airlocks open, you will step into the ship's main deck atrium to begin your journey through a galaxy far, far away. A visit aboard the Halcyon becomes a multi-day story that interweaves with members of the crew, other passengers, familiar Star Wars characters, and excursion to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disney's Hollywood Studios. The all-immersive experience will also feature entertaining activities such as wielding a lightsaber while facing off against a training remote, where you may discover your own connection with the Force. Visiting the Star Cruiser's bridge to learn about the ship's system and how to operate them, including navigation and defense, skills that may come in handy during a journey through the adventure-filled galaxy. Every window of the Halcyon, including those in each cabin, has a view of the galaxy beyond, with ever-changing vistas as the ship progresses from place to place. You'll be able to explore the Halcyon and perhaps discover hidden spaces deep in the mechanics of the ship, perfect for uncovering secrets or holding secret meetings. Choices you make during the adventure will help determine how your Star Wars story progresses. A lot of this sounds very familiar, like verbally, to what they were describing Galaxy's Edge to be.
Yeah.
You know, the whole, when you come to Galaxy's Edge, people will treat you differently depending how you do on the ride, and this is a whole interactive portion.
And how you interact
never existed.
No, it doesn't. But I feel like they can control that more in
a hotel
environment to a certain extent. You have to be willing to participate. And like a lot of people that go to the Galaxy's Edge just aren't willing to participate. You know, but there is, you know, it's not like you're going to do poorly, you know, on the ride, and then someone in the Ronto Roasters is going to comment on it. You know,
I want that to happen.
Yeah, but
though.
That just can't happen.
I want it to happen so bad. I want you to get off that ride, go get a sandwich, and be like, "Heard you're the guy that messed up the Millennium Falcon. What the heck was that about?"
Yeah, no,
I wish that could happen.
No, and that's what they were kind of promising.
Yeah,
you know, or at least maybe a stormtrooper would come by and scan something, and you know, and then they would know how you did on the ride. You know, they kind of promised that and didn't deliver. But, you know, they might be able to a certain extent, you know, because you have a room key, you have a room number that, you know, they can track you more easily.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, I think it sounds cool. I think a lot of people would be into this. It's not my thing. And
I would be so into this.
And one thought that I had while I was reading it, I was like, a hotel with no windows. And then earlier they were talking about a restaurant with no windows. Seems like a convenient way to put things in non-beautiful places of the park.
True. No, you're not wrong.
It's totally true. Like, who knows what's outside that hotel? It's probably like
a trash heap
backlot. Like, you know,
all the demolished rides from the past.
Yeah. people would like scrape the windows off to see outside if that's what they could see. But yeah, no, just a thought I had. It was funny. But yeah, no, I mean, not my thing. Would I stay there just to experience it? Sure. Would I participate? No. But you would. No, you would, and you'd tell me all about it.
Oh no, I totally would.
You would go off and explore the bowels of the ship, and I would be in the cantina.
Is there going to be a cantina on the ship?
There better be.
I would definitely be in the bowels.
Yeah, you would.
Some of the interesting things that kind of come from reading those little bits are like uncovering secrets, holding secret meetings, going into deeper parts of the ship to have that happen. Mm-hmm. Just the exploration portion of this sounds really interesting to me.
That part did sound cool.
Just the kind of the free roaming aspect of like you just kind of come upon like, who knows, maybe you're just walking around and you come upon like this meeting of people who are up to no good and you're like, uh-oh, what do I do? Who do I go tell?
There should be an indoor pool, like on a cruise ship, you know?
I'm sure there will be.
That would be really cool. And like the top is glass and it's all stars. That'd be super cool.
I would not be surprised if that exists in this.
I hope it does.
Yeah, I think this sounds really interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how they kind of execute a lot of this. I'm sure that there will be aspects to this that get cut. I'm sure there will be aspects to this that will start off fine and then slowly and surely get cut as well.
Yeah.
And it also sounds like this is not a one-night stay. Like, you're not allowed to stay one night. You have to stay multiple nights.
Yeah, it said 2-night experience. Yeah, so maybe you're not even allowed to stay longer.
Maybe there's like set stories that you do depending on like how long your stay is. So like 2 nights is the base minimum, and then the next one's 4 nights, and the next one's 6 nights or something. You know what I mean? So who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
And then also just the way I really like the verbiage. Like, it's almost like excursions from a cruise that you go on land for something.
Yeah.
Excursions from the spaceship to Batu.
Yeah.
I really dig that. Moving on, some news for DCA. Avengers Campus, Marvel Land.
Woo!
Well, Avengers Campus. It's in quotations. Marvel Land.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Guests can suit up alongside their favorite superheroes at the Avengers Campus, beginning in 2020 at Disney California Adventure Park and later at Disneyland Paris. Both campuses will feature the first Disney ride-through attraction to feature Spider-Man. The attraction will give guests a taste of what it's like to have actual superpowers as they sling webs to help Spider-Man collect spider bots and that have run amok.
Yeah. I saw concept art for this, and it just looks like Ninjago. And it makes me really sad, because I don't know. I don't
other Spider-Man rides.
Yes. I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss for words. I think I'm really disappointed, because they could have done something very different. With that being said, like, I don't know the details of this, and it could be very different, and I just don't know. But based on the concept art, it looks like Ninjago, where you're doing actions and you're flinging spider webs. Maybe,
but maybe it'll have some like live action sets. You know,
you never know. I mean,
maybe it'll be like Men in Black.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
But the thing is that it can't be like Men in Black, because Men in Black, I don't know. It could be. I don't know. I don't know about you, but I'm very much over interactive rides like this. Like, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run is a different kind of beast. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a little bit different. But I'm kind of over newer rides being, hey, you pick up a gun and you shoot. Or newer rides being, hey, fling your arms and something will come up on screen. I think I'm kind of over that at this point. I want something a little bit different. I want something a little bit more innovative. Not saying that this isn't innovative in a way that, you know, takes theme park attractions in a completely different direction. This is kind of just taking a sidestep, in my opinion.
Well, I think they have to have rides for everybody. And not every ride can be an innovated, you know, e-ticket phenomenon. So they, you know, and
you're 100% right.
In the Avengers Campus, they have to have different scale of rides, you know.
You're right.
So,
I'm not saying you're wrong in that sense. You're 100% right. You need different types of rides and scales of different rides and things like that. But I don't think you need to do something like this. I don't know. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I think this is a little bit of a silly reach.
And like you said, you don't know exactly what it's going to be like yet. You're just going off of concept art.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, there's like 5 pieces of concept art at the moment.
So wait and see.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
As superheroes continue to assemble on both campuses, one of the iconic buildings in California will be the Avengers headquarters. The building will become the future entrance to a brand new e-ticket attraction where guests will fly alongside the Avengers in an epic adventure to Wakanda and beyond when it opens in the next phase of the development. Avengers Campus will feature PIM Test Kitchen, where PIM Technologies is using the latest innovations to grow and shrink foods. Little bits.
That sounds really cute and funny.
What if it's all little bitty foods?
And they charge you like $6
Micro carrots, micro radishes, and all that stuff. Guests will also find heroic encounters throughout the campus, including Ant-Man, the Wasp, Doctor Strange, the Guardians of the Galaxy, superheroes from Wakanda and Asgard, I almost said and Iron Man, but it's and Iron Man. Guests may even catch a glimpse of the Avengers along the rooftops of the Avengers headquarters.
Ooh, cool. No, I mean, photo ops are fun.
Yeah.
And don't really know much about the e-ticket ride and little bits. That's it.
I'm not quite sure what the ride system is going to be for that. They did show the inside of the Quinjet with a whole bunch of seats.
Uh-huh.
So hopefully it's not just like a motion simulator. Hopefully it's a roller coaster of sorts.
Or a mix of the two.
I mean, that was what the rumor has been for the longest time, is that the Avengers ride was going to be like a launching coaster, indoor coaster.
My guess would be...
But if you're saying you're riding the Quinjet going through Wakanda,
yeah,
it's probably going to be something with screens.
Yeah, my guess would be like... Yeah, screens.
Who knows? I mean, we're going to have to wait and see, but it's going to be... That's something that's very, very interesting. So, moving on to Disneyland.
Magic happens.
It's like... Caca pasa.
Oh, yeah. No.
I said that in a way so I didn't have to say it, the curse word.
Yeah. Magic Happens is their new parade. Mm-hmm. So, Magic Happens. Debuting in spring 2020, the all-new Extraordinary Magic Happens parade will travel down Main Street, USA in Disneyland Park, celebrating awe-inspiring moments of magic, both large and small, that are at the heart of so many Disney stories. Magic Happens reminds us we don't need wings to fly, shooting stars were made to wish upon, and magic doesn't stop at midnight. This daytime spectacular will feature stunning floats, beautiful costumes, and beloved Disney characters, all led by Mickey Mouse and his pals. On her Voyager... Wa'a. Or canoe.
That means canoe.
Moana journeys forth on the crest of a beautiful wave inspired by beautiful koa wood carvings inserted with LED panels, providing a dazzling glimpse into the magic the ocean holds.
Celebrating the magic that happens when Miguel strums the guitar of Ernesto de la Cruz, the spectacular float inspired by the Disney and Pixar film Coco bridges the land of the living and the land of the dead with vibrant marigolds. Fantastical alebrije spirit animals join the procession along with Miguel's dog Dante. Which looked like a hot dog that fell on a barbershop floor.
Side note, Aaron loves Coco.
And I cry every time I watch the damn movie.
And we're going to have to watch it a lot because Aaron loves Coco.
I have to get over it. The regal grand finale of Magic Happens parade celebrates magical moments from classic Disney stories, including the trio of fairies from Sleeping Beauty who transform Princess Aurora's gown from pink to blue and back again. Mm-hmm. I wonder if they're going to include that dress that changes colors.
I'm sure they will.
Be so cool.
Yeah.
In addition, the parade will feature even more floats and characters, an energetic musical score, and a new song produced in partnership with singer-songwriter Todrick Hall. The high-energy music combines his original song with classic Disney tunes in a fresh contemporary style.
Cool. I'm excited
Todrick Hall is all over the place recently.
I like that they're doing a new parade. I like that they're incorporating a few new things that have not been in parades before, like Coco and Moana. You know,
yeah,
newer
that should
stuff.
be fun.
Yeah,
Guarantee you the Moana float is gonna spray you with water right in your freaking
probably.
face.
I'm
Right in your
excited
dumb face.
I'm excited for the Coco one because it's probably going to be like a bridge of the poppy petals.
If Pepita doesn't make an appearance on that float, I will be very disappointed. Actually, I think there's artwork already for it, and I didn't look at it, so
yeah, we'll see. I haven't looked at it.
I may be very
either.
disappointed.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, moving on. Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway here in Disneyland.
Woo.
At Disneyland Park, the attraction will be opening in Mickey's Toontown in 2022. The action takes place at the El Capitan
I see what
Theater.
you did there.
Yeah,
Disney.
I actually really like that.
It's cute, yeah.
The El Capitan Theater, where Mickey and Minnie are premiering their newest short, Perfect Picnic. I don't know why I said like
You
a
said
horror
it all
movie.
sinister.
Perfect Picnic. Thanks, killing. Before you enter the cinema, you'll experience a special exhibit created by the Toon Hall Hysterical Society featuring costumes and props from the Toon world. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway puts you inside the wacky and unpredictable world of Disney Channel's Emmy Award-winning Mickey Mouse cartoon shorts. Once you step into the cartoon world of Mickey and Minnie, you'll board a train with Goofy as the engineer. That is never a good thing.
Nope.
Then one magical moment after the next leads you to a zany, out-of-control adventure filled with surprising twists and turns. With an original story and lovable theme song, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway uses state-of-the-art technologies, dazzling visual effects to transform the cartoon world into an incredible, immersive, multi-dimensional experience. I cannot say that name without messing it up, I swear. Runaway Railway. Runaway Railway.
Runaway Railway.
Ugh, it's terrible.
I should have read that one then.
I think out of any of the attractions that we've talked about, I think this is the one I'm most interested in.
Yeah.
Because it's a traditional Mickey Mouse ride. You know, Mickey hasn't had his own ride before.
Yeah. No, it's going to be really cute. It'll fit right in Toontown, and it'll just be a great new refresher for Toontown, which it needs it.
Mickey's had his own show, and he's also had like Nighttime Spectaculars and Parades. Mm-hmm. Never a ride.
Now he
so
will.
I'm really interested in this, and then also just having something new in Toontown is going to be nice because Toontown has been a little stale as of recently.
Definitely.
You know, Roger Rabbit is really the only reason for me to go back there. Yeah. And I love Roger Rabbit's cartoon
Toontown's
spin.
there half the time.
Yeah, whenever we go, we never really visit Toontown.
Yeah.
Like, we really don't. Unless we really want to ride Roger Rabbit.
Which I haven't for a long time.
The last time I rode it was when you were pregnant, and I told you, hey,
Don't
I'm going to go
ride
in and I'll let you know if you could ride this. And I was like, yeah, you shouldn't ride this right now. Not when you're pregnant. Please don't. But yeah, no, I'm excited about Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Good job.
I tried real hard.
You did well.
That brings us to the end of the D23 news. Obviously, we picked and chose some specific things that we wanted to talk about.
Otherwise, we'd be here 3 days.
Yeah, pretty much. And you have a 3-day episode, which is not feasible to listen to in any way particular at all. So, moving on, we're going to be talking haunt news.
Woo!
Creepy, spooky, scary stuff.
What are we going to talk about first?
The Queen Mary's Dark Harbor.
Yay!
So this runs from September 26th all the way through November 2nd. And let's talk about their brand new maze, Rogue.
Brace for impact as the Queen Mary's Dark Harbor releases a storm of fear like no other in the all-new maze Rogue. Dark Harbor's newest maze will take guests through the frightening voyage that nearly changed history. Sparking the creation of the Hollywood blockbuster The Poseidon Adventure, the 95-foot wall of blackness sent waves of panic through the marine community and redefined science as we know it. All who dare will gasp for air. No, it says grasp.
Yeah.
Grasp for air as they plummet with fear, clinging to survival in the newest spine-chilling maze. As the tale goes, while transporting American troops during World War II, the RMS Queen Mary became known as the Grey Ghost. During a stormy December crossing from New York to Scotland, the famed ocean liner was broadsided by a monstrous force of nature, later classified by NOAA as a rogue wave. Dark Harbor attendees will roll into the tide of this historic moment by becoming fully immersed in the panic and chaos of Rogue's impact with deafening water effects, complete darkness, floor-to-ceiling seafoam, and even the experience of feeling of being capsized. All those aboard will hold on for dear life as the gray goose attempts to keep herself afloat. The foam.
Oh,
what?
You said the gray goose.
Oh, the gray goose! Also used to be at Queen Mary.
Honk.
No, the gray goose used to be at Queen Mary. It used to be in the dome.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that was a...
I think it was not Freudian slip. It
was in the back of your head.
It was in my head.
That's so funny.
The gray goose used to be there.
Hold on for dear life. We ride the gray goose. They talked about Rogue at Midsummer Scream, and this is a John Cook maze, if you can't tell by just reading it, because it's very
detailed,
but also very what's the word I'm looking for?
Thorough?
No, it's going to do a lot of crazy crap.
Yeah, it's going to spin around and foam floor to ceiling.
They're going to shoot foam at your face.
No, they're not going to shoot foam. Apparently a room is going to be pre-filled with foam.
And you're going to just walk through foam all day.
That's my fear.
What are you doing at your job today? I'm a foam monster.
I'm very clean at the end of my shift.
I don't got to shower.
No.
The cleanest monster there is. Spick and span. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of really cool things that they're talking about here, like the feeling of being capsized. I know that they talked about projections on a dome to make it look like things are capsizing, and I don't know how they're going to make you feel like it, but I can only imagine that like parts of the set are going to be on like an axis and they're going to move back and forth.
Yeah, kind of like
the depths.
The depths.
So like the ending of the depths where you're in the ship that kind of rocks back and forth. Something probably similar to that.
I am excited that because at not at D23. At Midsummer Scream.
People would freak out if that was
corrected myself. I didn't even finish the sentence. At oh my god. Oh my god. It's late, people. At Midsummer Scream, they were talking about this maze, and they were saying that it was going to feature a younger captain, a younger version of the captain.
Well,
and
he's
I'm
not
super
wearing
excited
white.
about
He's wearing blue.
Yeah, so I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I'm a little sad that's not the captain.
Well, hopefully captain is going to be out. Maybe.
Hopefully, at the end, he'll be the.
Well,
real
he's just
captain.
roaming. He's always in the middle.
That's true. I guess. So they got rid of
Dead Rise.
Dead Rise for this. I was never huge on Dead Rise.
I like Dead Rise like 1 or 2 years, and I always liked their ending because of the actors. But
it's the best.
Yeah, but it's time. It had been there for a long time.
Yeah, definitely. And then the returning mazes are Lullaby, Circus, Feast, B340, and Intrepid.
And Lullaby looks like it's going to be really cool and different.
So in Lullaby, they're actually taking you through the pool. Not the actual pool. They're recreating the pool where supposedly the girl drowned.
Yeah.
So they're recreating that you're actually walking through. I just saw concept art for it today.
I saw it too.
Holy shiznits.
Yeah, it looks
That
crazy.
was insane. So you're walking on the bottom of the pool, and then there's floating dead bodies at the top.
You know what?
Oh my god.
You know what? Real life. I grew up in a house with a pool in the backyard, and I used to have nightmares that I would find a floating dead body in the pool.
So this is going to be pretty intense for you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
One thing I want to touch upon on Queen Mary really quickly before we move forward is that I like that even though a majority of their mazes are returning mazes each and every year, they touch each one of them. They make sure that each one of them is changed in some sort of way, whether it be a new room, a new like interactive thing, just something.
A new path,
like just something that's different and new instead of just like opening the doors, saying, "Oh, we're back in business."
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that. Mm-hmm. And then Dark Horizons, Point of No Return. These are by the people who created Queen Mary.
But it's in Florida.
Yes. East Coast. West Coast flavor for East Coast people.
Yeah.
And this is going to be open October 4th to November 2nd. Florida's history is coming back to haunt you as Dark Horizons Point of No Return makes its debut in Orlando, Florida, October 4th through November 2nd, 2019, with the first ever West Coast style haunt in the East. Brought to you by the award-winning creators, producers, and directors for one of the most terrifying haunts in the world, the Queen Mary's Dark Harbor. Dark Horizons is pleased to announce the 3 gruesome haunted houses, 2 death-defying live entertainment stages, multiple immersive bars, and private party bootleggers, bungalows, and more. Dark Horizon, it's not Dark Horizons, it's just Dark Horizon, emerges in Orlando with much anticipation to feast upon fears, fray nerves, and curdle the blood of its daring visitors. The haunted attraction is divided into different zones, each highlighting pieces of Florida's dark history, myths, and lore. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
The Pointe is akin to one of the late 1700s pirate ports in what is now Florida. This zone features the Bootleggers Bungalows, Walk the Plank Pub and Pier, Siren Stage, Dark Horizons Gift Shop, Shark Bites, and the entrance to the Marketplace and Panic 4D maze experience. The port is also home to the haunted house Ghost Ship, a disease-infested, loot-filled vessel adrift on the high seas. The Phantom Tall Ship is filled with deranged and decaying seamen bound to wreak havoc in Dark Horizon. That was the one time it says Dark Horizons. In Dark Horizons Port. Will you live to tell the tale, or will Captain Kilgrew, the most feared female pirate in history, and her derelict crew, be your demise?
So this Captain Killigrew is the head honcho over at Dark Horizon.
Yes.
Yes.
Like the main character.
Yeah.
That is all built around.
She's pretty fun.
Yes. By the way, insider information. She's played by the lady who also played
the Ringmaster
at Dark Harbor, and she's pretty amazing.
Yeah. She's awesome. Yeah. And you can tell as soon as you hear her voice, it's the same woman.
It's just the demeanor and the style and just everything.
Next maze. Escape from the clutches of one of Florida's first serial killers, Edgar Bloody Watson, in the haunted house, Murder Island. Known as a hotbed for murders, ancient creatures, and bizarre tales, thrill seekers will come face to face with the brutality that shadowed the 10,000 islands in the late 1800s, turning into a shallow grave for at least 57 of Bloody Watson's sugar cane workers. Murder Island is in the Glades Zone, a virtually lawless land home to the VIP Storm Cellar, Outpost Pub, and Gator Grub. Experience Sacred Circle Stage and Shelter Patio in the village. This area is under the enchantment of Mambo Cecile and the haunted house Voodoo. The High Priestess has awakened the ancient help.
Loa Agwe.
Loa Agwe.
That's how I would say it.
Yeah, that's how I would say it too.
Loaagwe.
The spirit of the water. So proceed with extra caution through the foggy bog to the underworld Volcon.
I would assume.
Okay. And Mambo Cecile is also from Dark Harbor.
Voodoo Priestess.
She's the Voodoo Priestess.
By the way, I really like how all these maze names are very straightforward. Ghost Ship, Murder Island, and Voodoo. They're all very straightforward. You kind of get a sense of what you're going for in each one of those. Oh, I wonder what's happening on Murder Island. It's a great place to vacation.
I just think of Dexter.
Murder Island?
Well, like a Florida serial killer.
Yeah, like the Everglades.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm very much looking forward to this. I don't think we're going to be making it out to Florida to go on this, but I think we're going to have some people go out there and cover it for us so that we can have something to talk about, because this is pretty exciting.
Yes, it is. I wish we could go.
Oh, yeah. All our East Coast friends are going to love this. I mean, there's going to be plenty of bars.
Yes.
If anything that the Queen Mary crew loves, it's bars.
Yeah.
So
and if you're still on the fence about going to this, all our Florida friends, it's a fun time. It's definitely worth a visit.
Exactly. So moving on, we're going to be talking Not Scary Farm, which is open September 19th through November 2nd.
Now, they haven't had their big announcement event
No,
yet.
That's happening this week of this recording. It's this week.
Yes.
So we're only going to be talking about the things that they've actually announced. Because there's a few things that aren't announced, which I know what they are because people started taking pictures of them, but I don't want to talk about it because I want to talk about it when we have the extra information.
Yes.
So for Scare Zones, we have Carnival. Knott's Boardwalk is taken over by Carnival, where the freak show is the main event and countless deviant clowns crave your undying attention. Then you have the classic Ghost Town Streets returns. This is the original and still most terrifying Scare Zone that started it all. Bands of half-human, half-animal monsters prowl the streets and inhabit the fog. Beware the notoriously startling sliders who lunge from every fog-filled corner of the land. Then you also have the Hollow. From within the fog, witches of the Hollow, along with their armies of creatures, have risen once again to battle with the witch hunter and terrorize guests. Then you have Forsaken Lake coming back after last year's debut. This unearthly scare zone is making its sinister return to the park. Forsaken Lake, once again, the lake underneath Silver Bullet reveals the horrors and creatures it's kept hidden until now. Forsaken Lake will unleash gothic creatures, which have been ravaged by the dark and murky waters as they wander their crypts, preying on unsuspecting visitors looking for victims to drag back to their watery graves.
Ooh.
Then one of the very first mazes returning, which they announced at Midsummer Scream, is Special Ops Infected, but it is its last year.
Oh.
So if you haven't done this yet, make sure you do it, or else you won't have a chance. Armed with cutting-edge laser guns, brave guests will face off against hordes of zombies in the groundbreaking Special Ops Infected interactive maze. Small units of guests will battle the zombie apocalypse through blood-soaked streets and an underground sewer system crawling with nearly 100 ravenous zombies. The high-tech innovative experience thrusts guests into the middle of a live-action video game complete with live actors, real-time scoring system, kill streak reward system, and interactive targets, including a juggernaut boss zombie. This attraction is one of the largest mazes ever created in Not Scary Farm history, so form your squad and put your zombie apocalypse survival skills to the test in this action-packed, one-of-a-kind experience. Groups must work together to fend off zombies and complete terrifying missions before time runs out. If zombies drag their bodies too close, the uninfected guns temporarily deactivate, compromising the safety of the entire team. Soldiers with the deadliest aim will be celebrated with a tally of the number of zombie kills if they make it out alive. Take your last shot at saving mankind at this heart-stopping attraction is going out with a bang with a new surprise for final year at Not Scary Farm. So, I'm gonna miss this one, actually.
Me too. I really am. And it's been through a lot in its years. You know, it started at Camp Snoopy and, you know, and then it went into its own, like, backlot kind of area, and it's been fun every year no matter where it is.
Yeah. And then even they talked about potentially having it at what's it called? At Soak City. Mm-hmm. Like that was one of the ideas that was floating around, so that was actually quite interesting to hear that.
Mm-hmm. But then the guests might have been actually floating around because of all the bodies of water. So that's why they decided to not have it over there.
Too many literal water hazards.
Yes.
So I'm glad they didn't do that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next returning is Shadowlands. A fulfilling life ensures a soul a safe passage into eternity. But what happens to the souls of soldiers slain in battle? Enter the hair-raising Shadowlands maze and fight off demon samurais whose souls are cursed to rot within the depths of purgatory. Guests will embark on a quest through a sacred shrine, an ancient Japanese temple, and into the midst of the Shadowlands.
Ooh.
I'm happy this one's returning. It's fun.
Not gonna lie. I mean, I love this one. Kind of over it.
Yeah, I mean, last year was like, you know, when you know what to expect, you know what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, like at the end of the run, I was like, ugh.
Yeah, and nothing was that different last year.
No, I mean, like I don't think there was really anything.
No,
different.
they didn't really change it up at all, but it's still a fun one.
Well, there was some slight changes.
Yeah,
minor changes.
Very
Nothing,
minor.
Well, I mean, other than the fact that they got rid of the entrance room.
Yeah.
Like the whole opening show moment, they got rid of that completely. That was the biggest change.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. Do you want to do the next one, or should I?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Pumpkin Eater. Survive the wrath of the murderous 7-foot-tall creature that haunts the old woods surrounding the hollow in the new maze, Pumpkin Eater. Well, it's not new maze. It's returning.
Yes.
The notorious creature is on the prowl, hidden within the dark confines of the haunted town he once terrorized. To escape the sinister Pumpkin Eater's wrath, all that enter must go on a quest through the silent town of victims. Did I read that right? Yeah. Quest through the silent town of victims, face a cave of crawling insects, and solve a labyrinth of thorns that blocks the way out. Pumpkin Eater, to me, has always been consistent and great. I love Pumpkin Eater.
Oh, it's so fun.
It makes my skin crawl. Mm-hmm. Like, some of the sound design in that maze actually makes me get the willies, and I don't like it.
And the guts that get you wet.
It's gross. I don't like it.
Okay, next, Paranormal Inc., The Haunting of Hayden Hill. Paranormal Inc. maze once again reopens its doors to those brave enough to uncover the eerie and supernatural adventure. Guests investigate a haunted hospital where the patients were tortured for decades by deranged doctors and nurses. Demonic spirits of the murdered victims have been detected throughout the mysterious halls, while evil medical staff prowl for new patients to torture.
So last year, before last year's event, I was over Paranormal Link. I thought it had overstayed its welcome.
And then
I went through it, and I was like, I can't wait to go through this again.
They switched things up. See what happens when you switch things up? It gets fresh, it gets new, people are excited about it again. It makes a big difference.
But also what they did in respects to using the theme and creating a stark comparison to the rest of the maze really made it feel different. You know, like sometimes you can make a change, it's like, oh, the change was okay.
Yeah.
But this was a great change because the entire maze is dark. There's like dark shadows. You can't see things. And then all of a sudden it's bright LED lights that are in the ceiling, and it feels like you turned a wrong corner and you're backstage somewhere you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And you're in, you know, back you've gone back in time to where the hospital was normal and pristine and clean, and it's very disturbing and very haunting, and I loved every second of it.
Yeah. No, it's so cool. And it was a much better fit for an ending than the first one. I never quite got. Like, it felt kind of alien to me. Like,
like you get to that portal to the switchbacks.
Yeah, it just for me it never fit, and this fits so much better, and
Agreed.
It's so cool. I love it.
Really, really like it. Then let's go to Dark Ride, journey through an abandoned carnival ride where cruel carny folk still linger in the shadows in Dark Ride Castle of Chaos. The carnival has become a refuge for freaks and carnies. Now those shunned performers have created a dark world of terror where they plan to unleash on those who enter. Dark Ride will lead brave visitors through a treacherous path and into the bowels. More bowels.
Lots of bowels.
Into the bowels of a long-neglected attraction, as sinister shadows and horrifying scenes cast the gloom over the once pleasant ride. It's everyone's worst nightmare, being helplessly trapped inside an abandoned carnival ride without a way out. Carnival ride without a way out. Ugh. I feel like these are getting harder to read.
They are, because we're getting tired.
Yeah, probably.
It's okay. Yeah. Love this one.
Dark Ride. Phenomenal on all fronts every single time. So, no complaints here. I want to see it again.
Yeah.
Love the soundtrack.
Okay. Last returning maze that was announced. Dark Entities. Teleport beyond Earth and into a realm where the darkness is absolute. In the depths of space, a lone station faces terror beyond all imagination. An extraterrestrial, that word is hard right now. Extraterrestrial mutation has invaded the station, and it's on the prowl for new hosts. The unearthly inhabitants' force increases as it feeds upon its unwilling victims. Escape the dark entities before its deathly force eliminates all living from aboard the station. There's nowhere to escape when time is running out.
So Dark Entities, we didn't have too many great experiences through it. It was okay.
Yeah.
We did have one or two runs through it where it was just hitting on all cylinders, and it was just phenomenal. The cast was doing a stellar job.
The cast really pulled it off.
Yeah, I feel like the cast in this one, more than most, have to work really hard.
Yeah.
And to make this sing.
Yes.
And we only had it really twice where it was really running smoothly. But I'm excited to see it come back and see if they've done any changes, to see if they kind of can help all that kind of stuff work a little bit better and more smoothly. Yeah. So, and then other things that are returning are The Hanging, the show, the main show of Scary Farm, Time Zombies, which is the VR experience, Into the Fog, a Scary Farm tribute art show, which is my piece is in. Conjurers, thank you. Conjurers Magic Mirth in the Magic and Mirth at the Birdcage Theater, and Awaken the Dead, which is the party in Fiesta Village.
You know, is Time Zombies coming back? Because
it was on the website.
I know it was on the website, but I saw a post from someone a while ago that the VR
experience got pulled out.
It's gone.
Yeah, it was pulled out, but it doesn't mean that the area isn't still used for it,
yeah, so it might be coming back seasonally, you know, for like didn't they have a Christmas one?
No. What are you shooting reindeer?
I don't know. Okay, no, so yeah, maybe Time Zombies will come back, but yeah, the VR experience is gone right now.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see.
And like we said, there's an announcement event this week.
Yes, so
stay this week of posted. This recording. Announcement event where they talk about everything new.
Yes.
Moving on to Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood, September 13th through November 3rd. Now, with these mazes and Halloween Horror Nights in general, like Hollywood and Orlando, I don't remember what we talked about and what we didn't talk about. So I didn't put all of the descriptions. I just put the houses, and we'll just kind of go through them.
Yeah.
And the scare zones, because I just wasn't sure. I didn't want to waste our time.
Yeah. Also, we've already been talking for a very long time.
Yes. So the full lineup for Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood is Stranger Things, Jordan Peele's Us, Ghostbusters, Universal Monsters, Frankenstein vs. Wolfman, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Creepshow, House of a Thousand Corpses, The Curse of Pandora's Box, Holidays in Hell, and The Walking Dead Experience.
Pretty good lineup.
It's a very good lineup, actually. I actually think this is probably the strongest lineup for Halloween Horror Nights that I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah.
A very, very long time. I'd be lying, and I know I've talked about it on the show, but Killer Clowns from Outer Space, along with Ghostbusters, are like top tier for me. Like, I can't get any more excited for the event. And I'm also really excited because The Curse of Pandora's Box is a completely original maze. Mm-hmm. And I love Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood when they do original mazes, and they don't do them often.
Yeah.
They don't do them often. And every single time they've done them, they have been completely stellar. So I'm really excited to see those this year as well. And then when we go to Us. How do you think they're going to do Us?
I don't know.
Is it just going to be a whole bunch of red jumpsuit people?
I think it's going to be a lot of
mirrors.
Well, there's probably going to be mirrors.
There has to be mirrors because of the fun house.
The fun house. Like, is it Coney Island?
No, it's not Coney Island. It's Santa
Cruz.
Santa Cruz Boardwalk.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought Coney Island. Yeah, I mean, so they'll probably have some boardwalky atmosphere to parts of it, and then maybe like the woods. They'll have like a woodsy part.
Honestly, I think the entrance to the maze is going to be the front of that fun house.
The mouth. Was it a mouth?
No. It was like a giant wizard, wasn't it? Like over the front of the boardwalk or something like that. Anyway, I think that's going to be the entrance to the maze itself.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious how they're going to pull it off, because the whole thing with Us is that it's supposed to be like fear yourself, like doppelgangers.
Well, maybe they'll have. Well, and do you think they'll have like an underground area that people walk? Yeah, so maybe mirrors in there.
Possibly. I just don't know how they're going to pull that off, other than it just being a whole bunch of people wearing red jumpsuits with scissors.
What if they have actors that copy what you do?
Oh, that would be creepy as crap.
It would. I mean, I feel like guests would have to not abuse the privilege. Don't make them do like rude gestures or anything. Don't get any ideas, listeners. But wouldn't that be really cool?
That would be that. You creep me out saying that. Yeah. So I actually think that's a pretty cool concept.
They should. I mean, it wouldn't look like you, but who cares? Like just having
someone copy
it, because that's already annoying and unnerving.
Yeah.
So
it's not as annoying as much as it is unnerving.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that'd be cool. I think they should do that, at least for part of it.
Good call. Yeah. Very good call. So then we have scare zones. We have Fallen Angels, which is the entrance of the park. Explore crypts packed with restless ghouls and escape angry skeletons that have taken over Main Street. If you think the aged statues are creepy, wait until you encounter the Wraith, who will be literally watching over you. You can also spread your own demonic wings while you're here, but be sure not to antagonize the Angel of Death.
I like this theme for the entrance. It's different.
I like it. It's very different. Very, very different. I don't imagine there being a lot of chainsaw people in Fallen Angels.
No. Maybe they'll be farther back.
Maybe.
Yeah.
If anything, they're probably going to be in like Christmas in Hell or something like that. But anyway, the next scare zone is Spirits and Demons of the East in New York Street.
Angry skeletons. They'll have chainsaws.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, okay.
Sacred antiquities have just been shipped over from the Far East, and they didn't come alone. Many of these artifacts were stolen from the ancient temples and carry angry spirits with them. Now the spirits roam New York Street, looking to enact vengeance on anyone who dares steal such sacred relics. Be careful out there. These powerful demons can look like anything, even innocent school children. That's creepy as crap.
Yeah.
That's really creepy. I don't like that.
So is this like Asian?
Yeah, it's like an Eastern feel to it, yes.
So like the ring?
No, not the ring.
But like just like the look, maybe?
No, not that I know of. I mean, like the imagery that they had, like it looked like a mask. It almost looked like one of those dragon masks.
Oh, like that. Okay.
It's something similar to that.
Okay.
You, go for it.
Christmas in Hell, French Street.
You said it so nicely.
I did. You'll likely feel a faint sense of relief as you exit the holidays in Hell Maze, but it won't last long. Navigate through the Christmas trees littering French Street and make your way through our twisted takes on many holiday traditions. A giant nutcracker may be looking for a skull or two to clamp down on. The Winter Witch and Jack Frost himself will be celebrating as well. And they may not take too kindly to you interrupting their festivities. And just when you think it's over, beware of the New Year's baby. He's cranky.
He also crapped his pants.
Oh, that's the real horror.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Next, Toxic Tunnel, which is spelled with 3 X's, which is odd.
You know why.
Why, Nikki? 3 X's. Wink, wink.
Copyright.
Nudge. Oh, yeah, that one. This is going to be in the Walk to the Metro sets.
It's not going to be a burlesque Toxic Tunnel.
You don't know that. A whole bunch of monsters in lingerie. To experience the mazes on the Metro lots, guests will have to go through the tunnel once again. This time, the warped and cartoonish members of the demonic custom car club have taken over, and they don't plan on letting you get very far on foot.
I mean, car club, there might be some, like, bikini-clad ladies.
Maybe, but I like that it's
toxified.
cartoonish.
Yeah.
I like that it's a different take on it, because Toxic Tunnel has been very serious in tone. I mean, overall, Halloween Horror Nights scare zones are usually pretty serious in tone. Most of the time, I'd say 99% of the time. So I like that this is a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
You know, I think you need to have the ebbs and flows, just like movies do. You know, you have ebbs and flows to the story. You need to have ebbs and flows when it comes to scares.
Yeah.
You can't just have scary, hardcore craziness all the time. You have to have a little bit of fun with it.
Oh, definitely. I agree.
So.
Okay, next one.
The last one.
Yes. All Hallows Evil on the Metro sets.
I almost was like, you read that wrong, but no, that's exactly what it says.
That is what it says. Halloween isn't the only holiday that happens this time of year. The Celtic festival of Hoptuna is celebrated on October 31st as well. There's also All Saints' Day, followed by All Souls' Day, and of course Mexico's Dia de los Muertos, all of which share this season with the centuries-old Gaelic festival of Samhain. Samhain celebrates our transition into the darker months at the end of the harvest season. The souls of the dead are thought to return home on this night and are welcomed with costumes and bonfires. Some say the costumes were actually intended to protect oneself from these otherworldly beings.
Is that how you pronounce it? Samhain?
Samhain.
I must be having like some type of weird memory because they talk about this in the movie Halloween.
Yes.
But I thought he said Samhain in Halloween, and I thought that was a mispronunciation of the word itself.
Do you want me to Google it?
It's not worth it.
I'm the Celtic one here.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Anyway,
okay.
This sounds cool. I'm all about this. All about it.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no Terror Tram this year.
I am shocked
They completely
and
have
appalled.
negated it. Well, I'm shocked and appalled, but I'm also interested to see how it turns out.
Yeah. Because
to me, the Terror Tram is one of the more unique offerings. Mm-hmm. It hasn't been 100% the best thing in the world in the past couple of years.
No.
I love to see the event run without Terror Tram. I think Terror Tram was one of those things that really took a big chunk of the people who are at Halloween Horror Nights and moved them somewhere else.
Definitely.
So the fact that that's not going to be there anymore, I'm going to wonder how the crowds work, if it's going to work better or worse. Because that allowed us to do 2 more mazes.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. I'm kind of mad. I always like the Terror Tram.
Terror Tram is fun because it's unique and different. That's the reason why I'm a little irritated that it's gone.
Yeah, I like walking through the War of the Worlds
sets
set
and all that stuff.
and, you know, up the hill and past the Bates house, and I'm going to miss that.
Yeah, I'll miss it too. And then you have like the Norman Bates meet and greet and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'll definitely miss it.
We'll see. Hopefully it's not forever.
No. And then there's the 80s Throwback Thursday. Halloween Horror Nights is ready to kick it old school in a new Throwback Thursdays experience. Run in fear from monsters that nightmares are made of, then groove to your favorite hits of the 80s from a live band or inside a DJ-hosted dance party. Grab your leg warmers, windbreakers, and neon tracksuits for a Halloween party with an 80s twist. Pop, lock, and moonwalk all night long in this throwback extravaganza that's totally awesome, exclusively on Thursday nights.
And don't actually wear leg warmers, windbreakers, or neon tracksuits because you will die of heat stroke.
Probably.
Yes.
Anyway, moving on. Halloween Horror Nights Orlando, which runs September 6th through November 2nd. The full lineup here is, and there's going to be some overlap, Stranger Things, Jordan Peele's Us, Universal Monsters, Ghostbusters, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, House of a Thousand Corpses, and then the originals, Depths of Fear, Graveyard Games, Nightingale's Blood Pit, and Yeti Terror of the Yukon. So out of those originals, I think for me, Graveyard Games is probably the one that is the most traditional Halloween-y feeling. So that's definitely interesting to me. But I think if I were to look at it like from a whole, I think Depths of Fear is something that I would be looking into because it sounds very similar to The Depths at Not Scary Farm. So I'd love to compare and contrast the two.
And I know they do water well.
They do water very well. So I'm very interested to see how that turns out.
I'm also interested in Nightingale's Blood Pit.
Why about that one?
Because I just like the idea of the Nightingales. I've never been through one of their Nightingales mazes.
It's usually pretty bloody.
I don't like how they have looked in the past, just aesthetically, like the masks. But I like the concept.
They're probably not going to change the mask.
I know. And I'm probably not going to go through the mazes here.
That's true. You're very right in that. Anyway, moving forward, there's scare zones over at Universal Studios Florida. Zombieland Double Tap.
I'm so sad about this.
I'm very sad about this. It's time to brush up on those rules of survival. Based on the hit film and its upcoming sequel, the scare zone puts you in the middle of the United States of Zombieland. The infection has spread and bloodthirsty zombies are everywhere. The most important rule to remember, always double tap. It's time to nut up or shut up. So they've already started like putting out some decor out for its scare zones, or all of its scare zones there.
Yeah.
And they have a giant like drop tower ride, zombie kill of the week signs, and a whole bunch of stuff like they have the Twinkie truck and all these things. So there's a lot of really cool stuff going on.
Okay, Rob Zombie Hellbilly Deluxe.
Read that again.
Hellbilly.
There you go.
Hellbilly. Hellbilly. I don't know. Okay. Hellbilly Deluxe. You know his music. Now it's time to live it. Step into the heavy metal horror of Rob Zombie's music and imagery in this pulse-pounding scare zone. From otherworldly beings to brutal maniacs, you'll come face to face with his twisted creations as the music cranks into a frenzy.
I can't think of a better place to have Rob Zombie anything than Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh, yeah.
To me, they are just one and the same, and that may just be because Halloween Horror Nights here in Hollywood has constantly played his music at the entrance.
Yes.
So, like, whenever I hear Rob Zombie, I think Halloween Horror Nights.
Halloween Horror Nights, yeah.
So I think Dragula, Living Dead Girl, like all these crazy intense songs, I always think Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah.
You know, Dragula. Hey, yeah, I'm the one who's blowing head. Hey, yeah, I'm the super beast. That song is on my like Halloween playlist because of Halloween Horror Nights. So I'm really excited, and I mean, like the decor is a little generic out there, but it's very reminiscent of the stuff that's in his music videos.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see that.
I think it'll be a lot of lighting.
Definitely a lot of lighting. The music's going to play a huge part of it, obviously. And then I feel like the imagery from his music videos are going to play into it as well, because there's a lot of demons and weird robots and things like that. Oh, moving back to Zombieland, you know, in the movie, like a big part of it is the rules.
Yes.
You know how the rules just like show up and fall down, their 3D text and stuff like that? They're probably going to project them or something. They have to incorporate them in some way. Maybe over like the loudspeaker, they'll just say it out loud. Zombie rule, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. They should.
Who knows?
They should incorporate it.
And if they don't have somebody playing Woody Harrelson's character running around harassing people, saying, do you know where I can find a Twinkie? Or something, I'm going to be angry. So, next on the list, an arcade. An 80s-inspired arcade has taken over Avenue of the Stars. At first glance, you may think it's a party. However, you quickly learn that game over means a permanent end for you. A gang of neon slashers are out to play, and this is one game you won't want to lose.
When you say an arcade over podcast, it just sounds like you're saying an arcade. But it's anarch, like anarchy.
And Cade.
Yes.
An arcade.
Just clearing that up for our listeners.
So this one is the one that intrigues me the most because it seems pretty vague.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, you could gather what you want from it, but in general, it doesn't say much.
I think it's just going to be 80s.
But it's definitely not going to be, like, when I read this, I think, oh, it's going to be, like, scary versions of video game characters, but it's not going to be that.
Okay, to me, it looks like the Purge 80s edition.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Who knows?
We'll
I mean,
see.
like, I'm interested in seeing it. And then I know that Academy of Villains is going to be in this scare zone. Their show is going to be somewhere located near this.
Okay.
So I'm interested to see how this turns out. I'm not quite sure what they're going to do. I like neon. I like slashers.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe they're going to just do video game versions of famous slashers.
Maybe.
So, like, Jason Voorhees is going to be all purple and blue.
That'd be really cool.
Actually, it would be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Next one. Vanity Ball. Beauty is pain. Literally. In the streets of Hollywood, your flesh becomes the canvas as blade-wielding artists slice up willing participants into horrific living works of art. Here, going under the knife takes on a whole other meaning. Ooh.
Yeah, this one I actually like because in my mind I'm like, they could do some really messed up crap.
Oh, yeah.
That's like really disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
They could even do like the face peel off effects that they've
totally
done before.
could. Yeah.
Which should be pretty fun.
They could do anything.
Mm-hmm. Then the next one is Vikings Undead. We're all familiar with the brutal Viking warriors. It's terrifying enough thinking about facing them alive. Now picture facing them as the undead, as they have risen and laid siege to Central Park with an onslaught of gore. Bloodlust never dies. This is where the Trick or Treat scare zone was, where all the pumpkins were.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exactly where this is. This one, I think, is going to be the one that's the most intimidating, the most scary, the most intense, based on that. Like, in my mind, what I picture is almost, like, imagine, like, not like the fake Viking helmets, but, like, metal Viking helmets with complete, like, zombie, like, gory, like, skeletal remains underneath it. Like, almost like White Walkers in a way.
Yeah.
Like, they're just, like, crazy and wild and fast.
Yeah, could very well be that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I imagined.
Mm-hmm.
So
it'll be cool to see.
I'm very interested in that one. That one should be really cool, especially with that area given the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
And then also music can play a big part in this one too.
Yeah.
They could either go either way. They could do something very minimal and more haunting, or they could go like super intense, like, and have like sound effects of like a battle actually going on.
Yeah.
Something like that. I know that last year they had a very large church set, like building actually there. Maybe they'll do something along the lines of a boat, which a lot of people have been talking about, like a Viking ship.
I was thinking of a boat, yeah.
So
that'd be
who knows?
really cool.
Yeah. And the last thing on our list to talk about for Halloween Horror Nights Orlando
is a show. Halloween Marathon of Mayhem. A new Lagoon show is debuting at Universal Studios Florida during Halloween Horror Nights on select nights September 6th through November 7th. Watch as the lagoon transforms into a spectacle of neon and synth, featuring iconic scenes from top horror films, cult classics, and TV shows in Halloween Marathon of Mayhem.
So imagine World of Color, but awesome.
Yeah, pretty much.
World of Color, crank it up to 11.
World
with
of Horror.
And it's going to be amazing. Like,
World
the imagery
of
that they did
Blood.
for this, it gets me so sad that I'm not going to see it.
Well,
At
I'm
least
sure
in
they'll have it
person.
next year.
I really hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, if not, they do this for what they are showcasing in Halloween Horror Nights 30. I don't know if we talked about this on the show or not, but we're coming to Orlando in 2020.
Yep.
That's happening, people.
Mm-hmm.
We're showing up in Orlando, just on a whim. No, we're not doing it on a whim.
we're not.
We're actually taking Erin to Walt Disney World for her second birthday.
Yeah.
So we're going to get her haircut done on Main Street and Magic Kingdom.
So lovey
And
and
hopefully
nice,
we'll
and
be able
then
to...
Halloween Horror Nights.
Halloween Horror Nights.
Hopefully.
We're not taking Erin to that. That's
No,
just
we're
us.
not.
Hopefully get a babysitter for that, but
Yeah.
yes. But we're going to be in Orlando, so that should be exciting. But that is all the news that we have for you tonight. That was a lot of Horror Nights news. That was a lot of Scary Farm news. It's just a lot of haunt news in general.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of D23 information to cover. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that we didn't even touch on yet. I mean, I don't think we're going to be touching upon it because we have a very busy slate of episodes coming up in the next couple months.
Yeah.
So, thank you everybody for sticking with us in this little bit of a longer episode and all the news.
Hearing the news and our takes on it.
Yes, thank you for tuning in. And if you guys haven't already, make sure you head on over to iTunes, leave us a 5-star written review. It always helps us out and brings us up higher in the standings, makes it easier for people to find us and enjoy us like you are right now. And if you want to follow us on social media, make sure you follow us on all of our social media platforms. You can find us at Theme Park Duo on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And if you want to reach out to us, make sure you send us an email to
themeparkduo@gmail.com. Be sure to tell me how many miles away the moon is and a space station would hover.
Yes. All of that information.
I need to know.
And more. But thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. And until next time,
there's always a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. See ya.
Thanks for riding with the Theme Park Duo. Make sure to gather all your belongings before the end of the podcast. Bye-bye.